Hello and welcome to Coding Demos. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how we can align views at the bottom of the screen. By the end of this tutorial, you will have an app that looks like this. You can see in the emulator, I have these two buttons which are aligned at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so let's get started by opening up Android Studio and open up the app, the resource, the layout, and here we're going to be working with the activity_main, the XML file, whereby we'll be adding these two views, which are the two buttons. And to do that, click on the palette and drag two buttons. This is the first button, and this is the second button. Okay, now the first thing that we need to do here is we need to change the Android orientation from vertical to horizontal. And let's do this now. So horizontal. The reason why we need to change this so that the views will be aligned in a horizontal orientation. Okay, so the first part is done. The second part here is we need to change the layout width. You can see here the layout width. So instead of using a match parent, we will use something like this. So we'll pass it a value of 0 dp. Now when you put the 0 dp here, Android Studio will complain, say that suspicious size, this will make the view invisible, should be used with a layout weight. And let's follow what Android Studio is actually telling us, and we do it like this: Android layout weight, and let's give this a value of 1. So I'll be explaining all this later on, and let's do the same thing for the second button. So I have this first button is done here. So the second button, we're going to change the width to 0 dp, same thing, and we're going to add a layout weight to this button, and we're going to add the same value, which is 1. Now you can see here the buttons are aligned perfectly next to each other on the same line. Okay, so let me go through step by step of what I'm actually doing here. What we did here is we passed a layout width as 0 dp, and then we added a layout weight as 1 dp, as 1. So what is actually a layout weight? A layout weight is actually an attribute that says, okay, Android, please allocate extra space for this button. Okay, and when we pass the same value for the same layout weight value for these two buttons, Android will figure out, okay, so you want to actually align these two buttons on the same line, which have the same space that's being allocated to both of these views. That's why you can see them. You can see these buttons are aligned next to each other. Because of what? Because of using this layout weight. Okay. Now we managed to make them align next to each other. The next thing is we need to position them towards the bottom of the screen right here. And to do that, you'll go to the root layout, which is the linear layout, and we're going to add a layout gravity. Android layout gravity, and we will choose bottom because we need to align them at the bottom of the screen, so we use the bottom value here. And you can see the result. These two buttons are aligned at the bottom of the screen, and they both have the same width being allocated by this layout. Why? Because we're using these two attributes. We're passing 0 dp and we're adding a layout weight as 1 to both of these buttons. The final part we need to do here is we need to change the label. So the first one would be login, and the second one would be register. Okay, now let's give this a run and let's see how it looks like in the emulator. Click on the run button. I have my emulator here running, and click on OK. Okay, so build is complete, and as you can see here, I have these two buttons aligned at the bottom of the screen, and they have an equal width that's being allocated by the linear layout. That's basically it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Do give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel for more awesome tutorials. If you need any help with the code, please send me an email and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks again for watching and happy coding.